African immigrant business owners are building quite a reputation for themselves in many American communities today by establishing essential institutions and firms aimed at providing solutions to global problems. These operations cut across construction companies, energy sectors, transportation industries, space projects, and financial entities, as well as fields in entertainment and cosmetics. Considering that African immigrants to the U.S. have higher levels of education than any other native-born ethnic group, including white Americans, this is not surprising. In fact, a recent Pew Research Center research shows that 69% of immigrants from Africa to the United States have completed some form of university education. Nigerians are the most educated immigrants, with 59% of those 25 years of age and older possessing at least a bachelor's degree. This figure is 6 percentage points higher than the proportion of native-born Americans and significantly higher than levels in Europe. In Britain, roughly half of immigrants from Africa have some college education, whereas the percentage is 30% in France. Africans have also embraced business, and these business people are useful not only to the communities they live in, but also to their home continent, Africa, where they create supply chains for commodities, goods, services, and opportunities. These entrepreneurs have become household names across the globe, although some have taken critical steps to remain under the radar. Nonetheless, their operations have successfully attracted a sizable portion of the vast American economy through their wealth-generating activities. Join us in our video today, which explores the 12 richest African immigrants in America. As always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more exciting future videos. Although Trevor Noah is best known for his work on Comedy Central, he is also one of the most well-known and successful stand-up comedians in the world. He regularly draws crowds of more than 1,000 people and can make up to $75,000 per day performing stand-up comedy. Through his stand-up comedy, Trevor Noah has made over $6 million in the last 12 months. However, Noah and his family endured somewhat of a difficult start in his birthland, South Africa. Throughout his childhood, his mother faced jail time and fines during South Africa's apartheid period, which criminalized interracial marriage. His father, Robert, was of Swiss ancestry, and his mother, Patricia Nambayisilo No, was of Xhosa ancestry, which made life difficult for the No family. In 2011, Noah relocated to the United States and became the first South African comedian to appear on The Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon and The Late Show with David Letterman. Noah got his big break in America after making a name for himself on the international stand-up comedy circuit when he was hired to replace Jon Stewart as host of Comedy Central's The Daily Show. Today, he is worth over $72 million and is one of the richest Africans to live in America.
There's nothing sexy about it. Everything the Russians say sounds dangerous and menacing.
Born in South Africa, actress and film producer Charlize Theron hasn't only been a huge success in Hollywood, but is also one of the highest paid actresses in the world. She has appeared in many commercially successful and critically acclaimed movies since moving to America, and she has received numerous awards, including an Academy Award, a Screen Actors Guild Award, and a Golden Globe Award.
I could say that, right? But then it wouldn't make sense why I would fly myself 500 million miles.
In 1994, Theron flew to Los Angeles on a one-way ticket her mother bought for her, intending to work in the film industry. During the initial months there, she lived in a motel with a $300 budget that her mother had given her. She continued receiving checks from her mother and lived from paycheck to paycheck, to the point of stealing bread from a basket in a restaurant to survive. One day, she went to a Hollywood Boulevard bank to cash a few checks, including one her mother had sent to help with the rent. But it was rejected because it was out of state and she was not an American citizen.
You don't have to be afraid. It's okay.
Theron argued and pleaded with the bank teller until talent agent John Crosby, who was the next customer behind her, cashed it for her and gave her his business card. This was the beginning of her breakthrough, and she went on to be one of Hollywood's greatest actress and film producer. In 2007, Theron became a naturalized citizen of the United States while retaining her South African citizenship. Theron is proud of her South African heritage, and in 2007 she founded the Charlize Theron Africa Outreach Project to aid African youth in the fight against HIV and AIDS. The project is dedicated to assisting community-engaged organizations that address the disease's primary causes. In 2016, Time named the UN Messenger of Peace one of the world's 100 most influential people, and she has amassed a massive net worth estimated to be $160 million in 2022. Rohan Oza, dubbed Hollywood's grandfather, is a marketing whiz behind some of today's biggest celebrity-backed endorsement deals. He's worked with brands such as Sprite, Mars, and Vitamin Water. He gained popularity by appearing frequently on ABC Shark Tank. Rohan Oza is reported to have a net worth of $200 million as of 2022. Rohan Oza was born in Zambia to Indian parents and educated in the United Kingdom before attending graduate school at the University of Michigan. Rohan achieved success in America due to his uncanny ability to identify key market trends, which has made him one of the world's most successful brand builders. He began his career as a marketing manager for Coca-Cola, where he was successful in increasing Sprite and Powerade sales. Later, he joined Glaceau, a $25 million company that was later purchased by Coca-Cola for $4 billion. Rohan has never forgotten his African roots and supports the continent through a variety of charitable endeavors, the most important of which is the Children Matter NGOs, a collaboration between the Starkey Hearing Foundation and Matter organization that provides medical equipment and hearing implants, as well as food and other necessities to underprivileged children in Africa.
Do you see that? Everyone's seen this, bro, I love that buy ad. I actually had nothing to do with that ad. I'm taking credit for him.
Hakeem the Dream Olajuwon is a Nigerian-born American professional basketball player who led the Houston Rockets to back-to-back NBA championships in 1994 and 1995. Olajuwon had never played basketball before the age of 15, instead preferring to play association football and team handball in Lagos, Nigeria. After 2 years of practice, the 7-foot center was recruited to play collegiate basketball in the United States at the University of Houston. He was the starting center for the Houston Rockets from 1984 to 2002. In 2008, he was inducted into the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame, and in 2016, he was inducted into the FIBA Hall of Fame. As of 2022, Hakeem Olajuwon's net worth is estimated to be around $200 million, making him the NBA 8th wealthiest player. Ekene Akaeze was born in Nigeria and moved to the United States when he was 2 years old. He grew up in Detroit, where his father and brother were both doctors. He received his medical training at Harvard University, but it was his prior education in economics at Yale and later an MBA from Harvard Business School that enabled him to successfully combine the worlds of business and medicine when he founded Sometas in 2016. Sometas is now America's largest provider of value-based kidney care. Sometas has expanded to supply high-quality and customized care to almost 21,000 patients with kidney disease across multiple states, employing over 300 clinical and operational leaders, and forming innovative, value-based partnerships with leading health plans, health systems, and providers since its inception. Sometas has benefited not only patients but investors as well, who have driven up the company's worth over several rounds of fundraising. The company recently announced a $325 million Series E financing round that was oversubscribed, raising its valuation to $2.5 billion. Ekene Akaeze's efforts have been noticed as he was named Entrepreneur of the Year for the Mid-Atlantic region in 2020 by Ernst & Young. Dennis was raised by his mother Mary, an economist who supports women's economic mobility, and his grandmother, a widower who sold her own hair and skincare products made from family recipes. Dennis spent parts of his childhood in Liberia and Sierra Leone. Dennis and his schoolmates started selling their soap and shea butter products on the streets of New York after being forced by the war to overstay in America and being inspired by unemployment to start doing so. Eventually, they founded Sundial Brands. Their business developed into one of the top 10 Black-owned companies in America and the largest Black-owned beauty brand in the world. Richard U. Dennis, the 49-year-old co-founder of Sundial Brands, had spent the previous 20 years avoiding meetings with the U.S. president of Unilever, the Anglo-Dutch consumer goods conglomerate worth $54 billion as of 2017. He eventually caved after Unilever executives began pleading with Dennis' friends to persuade him to attend the meeting. Unilever made a generous offer of $1.6 billion for Sundial, which Dennis and his mother, Mary, who co-founded the company with him in 1991, accepted for an estimated $850 million fortune. As part of the Sundial Brands acquisition, Unilever and Mr. Dennis established a $100 million New Voices Fund to assist entrepreneurial women of color in achieving business success. Dennis travels to Ethiopia, Kenya, and Nigeria to research distribution models, not forgetting his African roots. Sundial Brands imports over 250,000 kilos of raw shea butter from Africa, primarily Ghana, where it sources from 7 women's cooperatives in northern Ghana. Sundial Brands is also moving manufacturing away from its Long Island headquarters and into areas closer to new markets, such as Brazil, Nigeria, and South Africa.
As we've grown, the way that you scale up is like when you make any recipe.
Awatomna was born into a middle-class family in Lagos, Nigeria. His father was a microbiologist and entrepreneur, and his mother was a bank employee. At age 12, he witnessed his father being shot and killed during a carjacking. He moved to Atlanta with his family when he was 15 years old in 1996, where he enrolled at the University of Georgia and studied computer science before moving on to business and management information. Awatomna founded Calendly 9 years ago, investing his life savings of $200,000 in it, and later quitting his job selling software for EMC. A risk most men will pass, however. Today, the company has 10 million users and prominent customers such as Lyft, Ancestry.com, Indiana University, and La-Z-Boy. Last year alone, revenue generated surpassed $100 million, about twice the earnings the year before. What's even more interesting is the prospective earnings he could make this year. He is now one of America's richest immigrants. Since 2016, the company, which he birthed in Atlanta, has been profitable, although it no longer has any physical offices. It raised $350 million in funding last year from OpenView Venture Partners and Iconic Capital, valuing the company at $3 billion. According to Forbes, Awatomna's majority stake is worth at least $1.4 billion after the 10% discount it applies to all private company shares. Awatomna is one of only 2 black tech billionaires in the United States, with the other being the 70-year-old David Stewart, founder of Missouri-based IT provider Worldwide Technology. Kase Lawal is the CEO and chairman of Camac Holdings, Inc., a Houston-based oil and gas exploration and refining company. The Nigerian-born man left Africa to launch life in the U.S. and has since established his family-owned firm into a billion-dollar enterprise since 1986, utilizing a combination of hard-nosed business acumen and extensive African contacts. Kase Lawal has been quietly constructing a gas and oil empire, while other major oil companies have dominated the news for everything from overpaid CEO to accounting scandals. Camac Holdings was ranked first on Black Enterprise's prestigious list of the top 100 Black-owned firms in America in 2002 and 2003. The company had offices all over the world and employed over 1,000 people. Lawal's success has inspired him to help other people of color gain access to the lucrative oil business, which has traditionally been dominated by white men.
We started this talk in 2005.
For a man who has stakes in quite a number of airports around the world, including Gatwick Airport, which is the United Kingdom's second busiest airport by total passenger traffic, and the 9th busiest in Europe, Adebayo Ogunlesi's modesty about his wealth is impressive, earning him the moniker of the silent billionaire. Ogunlesi's fortune is unknown because he used his extensive knowledge of law and finance to keep his financial dealings hidden from the media. Nonetheless, it is rumored to be somewhere in the region of $6 billion, and is certain that this net worth has perhaps increased in the last 2 years as a result of massive increases in stock valuation and private equity firm valuation. This might not be wrong, as the inconspicuous billionaire, who started out as a lawyer and later an investment banker, has been very tight-lipped about his fortunes. He has since grown into quite a renowned figure around the world and in his home nation, Nigeria. He is the founder, chairman, and managing partner of the private equity firm Global Infrastructure Partners. With roughly $77 billion in assets under management, it is the world's largest infrastructure-focused private equity firm. There are over 70 companies in the firm's portfolio that generate a collective annual revenue of $4 to $5 billion and approximately 62,000 employees. Adebayo was born in Sagamu, western Nigeria, on December 20, 1953, and attended King's College in Lagos. Despite his reputation as the COE of the world's largest infrastructure fund, Ogunlesi has avoided investing in Africa, where there is an estimated $103 billion financing gap for infrastructure investments. Nassef Sawiris is an investor and the heir to Egypt's most powerful family. His most valuable asset is a nearly 6% stake in sportswear manufacturer Adidas. In December 2020, he purchased a 5% stake in Madison Square Garden Sports, the owner of the NBA Knicks and NHL Rangers teams. Nassef remains Egypt's and the Arab world's wealthiest man. He currently owns 30% of OCI, a fertilizer producer based in Jilin, the Netherlands, that arose from a demerger of his family's original company, Orascom Construction. He led the expansion of Orascom Construction into the United States in September 2012, when it built its $1.4 billion nitrogen fertilizer plant in Iowa and acquired the White's Construction Company. His other holdings include a stake in LafargeHolcim, the world's largest cement manufacturer. Nassef Sawiris purchased a penthouse at 965th Avenue in New York for $70 million in 2012, setting a record price for a penthouse at the time. Nassef Sawiris is a member of the Cleveland Clinic's International Leadership Board and joined the University of Chicago's Board of Trustees in 2013. He donated $20 million to the University of Chicago in 2015 to establish and endow the Onsi Sawiris Scholars Program, which supports academically gifted Egyptian students. Sun Shinan was born to Chinese immigrant parents in 1952 in Port Elizabeth, South Africa. Before fleeing China with his wife during World War II, his father worked as a village doctor. Sun Shinan moved to the United States to begin surgical training at the University of California, Los Angeles, after receiving his medical degree from Wits University in Johannesburg at the age of 23. In 1983, he joined the UCLA Medical School faculty, where he specialized in diabetes treatment. In 1991, he left the university to found VivoRx, a biotechnology company which were named the American Pharmaceutical Partners and sold shares 4 years on in a public offering. In 2008, he sold APP to Fresenius, a German pharmaceutical company, for $4.6 billion. He also sold Abraxas Bioscience, an APP subsidiary, to Celgene in 2010 for a total of $2.8 billion in cash and stock. In 2018, Sun Xinong paid $500 million for the Los Angeles Times and owns a 4.5% stake of the Los Angeles Lakers professional basketball team, which he purchased from veteran Lakers star Earvin Magic Johnson in October 2010 for $27 million. According to a December 2021 report by valuation consultant Sportico, the team is worth approximately $5.6 billion. He maintains contact with Africa and has set up a COVID-19 vaccine manufacturing plant in South Africa, which he commissioned along with South African President Cyril Ramaphosa. The medical doctor will also transfer technology and materials from his Nant works in California to Nant SA in South Africa, and pledged $6.5 million for scholarships to train South Africans. Musk, who was born in South Africa to an engineer father and a nutritionist mother, left his home country at the age of 17 to attend college in Canada, partly to avoid serving in the apartheid-era South African Army. He enrolled at Stanford University after graduating from the University of Pennsylvania with degrees in physics and economics, but dropped out after only a few days to pursue his 3 main areas of interest: the internet, clean energy, and space. In 1995, he founded Zip2, an online publishing platform, which he sold 4 years later for more than $300 million. He used some of the profits to launch X.com, an online payment system. He would eventually merge that with what became PayPal, the e-commerce site that was eventually sold to eBay for $1.5 billion in 2002. Musk is the CEO of Tesla, the world's most valuable automaker. The company, based in Austin, Texas, sells electric vehicles as well as home solar batteries. Musk is also the CEO of SpaceX, a rocket manufacturer chosen by NASA to resupply the International Space Station, and owns a stake in Twitter. Elon Musk's fortune has grown from $59 billion in 2020 to $225 billion in 2022. He is currently the richest man in the world with a net worth of $233 billion, according to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, which is a daily ranking of the world's wealthiest people. Despite being born in Africa, Elon Musk is not known for investing his vast fortune on the continent, not even in his birth country of South Africa. It should be remembered that entrepreneurship in America is a huge challenge for African immigrants, who face deficiencies in social and financial capital because they lack the social cohesion of other immigrant groups. But as one of the most educated immigrant groups in America, they frequently rely on their vast asset in human capital to navigate America's myriad of challenges. If you enjoyed this video, watch also the next video on your screen, which looks into great achievements in science and technology in ancient Africa. As always, give the video a like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting future videos.